This episode discusses topics related to homophobia, stalking, and abuse. Please take care while listening.
Can I steal you for a minute?
Steal you for a minute?
Can I steal you for a minute?
Welcome to Can I Steal You for a Minute, the reality dating recap podcast. My name is Indra Raj.
And I'm Mary Bianco.
And we're back with the Golden Bachelorette.
We have been fed this week.
For sure. And I think if you've been listening, you know I've been a little skeptical. I was not really looking forward to it. And then after the first episode, I'm fully in.
I mean, fully sobbing for a majority of the episode. I texted my dad that I loved him at one point. This episode really got me. So
the part at the end where they had them all sit and watch the videos from the kids, I was just crying. Just crying the whole time.
So supportive. So supportive of each other. Just for reference, I've had a tough week.
Yes.
So
everyone's
if
done
I
Mary
cry,
love.
it's in part because of Golden Bachelorette, but also because I'm so happy it's Friday and just to be talking about something else.
Yes. And this is an opportunity for you to have fun for an hour.
Yeah. So anyway.
I mean, if you weren't crying at least a little bit, you need to do a personality test or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just weren't paying attention because
Yeah. This was really, they did their thing. They did. They are very delicate in editing these episodes.
Yeah.
Not delicate in many other important ways, but
yeah, which we want to address first because the Devin shit show continues on, and we would love to stop talking about him, but I think we need to talk about it, and hopefully this will be. I mean, I don't know, but anyway. So Mary, I'm going to let you take the lead on this.
Yeah, so last time we recorded, I didn't even know that this happened. I hadn't been on social media much that day, so I've learned a lot since then, including, and this is how much I love you guys, suffering through a Reality Steve live YouTube to get more details.
Which is the ultimate sacrifice, truly.
The ultimate sacrifice, because even though he did very good work in uncovering this, and I do appreciate it, he's so self-aggrandizing and annoying that I just
He's so obnoxious. Just his whole affect is so obnoxious.
It's so obnoxious. And it's just he was a little bit better talking about victims than he had been in the past. So I'll give him credit where it was. But it was kind of he kept saying over and over again, well, and I'm not mad at the victim for not talking to me. It's why would you be mad at her? Why?
Yeah, why would you even say that sentence?
Why? Why would that? And he had a lot of shock in how the law allowed this restraining order to be violated. And I was just kind of this is being a woman in this country. So basically what happened is Devin was dating a girl when he was at LSU in college. And at one point they broke up, and he kept calling her and texting her and stopping by her, coming by her house.
Already, don't do that.
Just already don't do that. Sending group me messages about she's the best thing that ever happened to him. Paragraphs and paragraphs about how badly he messed up and how sorry he is. This is Devin's MO. This is what he tries to do over and over again.
Yep.
At one point, she gets the restraining order. And I can't remember chronologically if it was he broke into her house and then she got the restraining order, or if she got the restraining order because he broke into her house. Either way, she felt unsafe enough. And at one point in the police report where she's requesting the restraining order, she wrote, "Please, I cannot live my life with him continuing to contact me. It needs to stop." She was just at her wit's end with what she wrote to the police.
People don't just get restraining orders because it's easy or because they want to. It's
Especially
because you're
college.
desperate.
Yeah, you're desperate. In college, you don't want anything to hinder your time there. You don't want anything to mar it. You don't really want to get involved with the police. That feels so serious beyond anything you should be dealing with in college. And she went to the police for protection.
Yeah.
He broke into her house and he ransacked her closet and stole back a diamond necklace. And he lit the restraining order on fire in her yard at some point.
That is so aggressive and violent. Lighting it on fire, stealing back the diamond. What the?
Yeah.
It's
And
Oh.
his punishment for all this was to get a job and stay away from her.
Wow.
He did very little jail time. He's an adult at this point. He's not under 18 years old.
Oh, but he
And
did do jail time?
he was arrested. I
Okay.
don't think he was like detained for any long period of time. That Reality Steve didn't know. And Reality Steve is so shocked that like a woman could have a restraining order and a man could violate it and he'd get very little punishment. He's like, what's going on in Louisiana? Here's what's going on around this entire country for women
Right.
and why getting a restraining order like sometimes is even more dangerous because there's no magical bubble around you preventing people from breaking it. Like they found a lot of times that victims of domestic violence who get restraining orders are more likely to be killed by their perpetrator because they've gone and in the perpetrator's mind, in the
Yeah.
abuser's mind, violated their trust in what should have been kept in the home. And
Right. Again, another reason why people often don't want to get them because it can kind of poke the aggressor even
Exactly.
more in a like what a scary situation. I'm so sorry for
such a
this
scary
woman.
situation. Me too. And like, you know, coming home and finding your stuff ransacked and
Oh my
then,
God.
you know, he sent homophobic messages to her friend after the restraining order.
Of course he
And
did. Of course he did.
I'll read some of them.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna read all of them. Calls them, hey, short for homosexual, like the slur term for it. Guess who's getting their fucking ass kicked next time I see you? See you sooner than you think. Surprise someone who puts D in that foul mouth of yours. Keep my name out of that shithole, especially when dealing with me. Educate yourself on the situation, gay boy.
Oh, that is awful thing to say.
Awful.
Like disgusting behavior, Devin. What is wrong with
Disgusting.
you?
And Devin,
God.
we can't see him. He keeps deleting his Instagram on and off. I don't know how
Right.
Reality Steve and Bachelor Data are getting screenshots of his profile, but another thing that Reality Steve posted was after Devin put his apology video out.
Of course.
But before the restraining order went public, Devin posted, everyone had enough. And then a clip of Conor McGregor, the boxer, saying, I apologize to absolutely no one. So he did this entire video knowing that this news could still get out, but felt so infallible and indestructible that he still went on there and like poked the fucking bear. This person is dangerous.
Yes.
This person is why on social media, when women ask you, like, you know, the whole thing about man or the bear, like, this is why women choose the bear, because this person would not leave her alone. She went to the police for help. Oh, this is another detail I forgot. He got arrested for DUI. And when he got arrested, he told the police, she already had a restraining order out against him. Please call my girlfriend. Like, she'll come get me. The police call her down to the station. She sees it's Devin and she's like, what the fuck? I have a restraining order against him. And the police were like, oh, so sorry. We didn't know.
Wow. So even when you go to the lengths to get a protection like that, it's not even like respected or enforced in any
No.
way.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I hate to say it, but like Devin is worse than Sam M. Like I didn't think it was possible.
I mean, he's a really, really bad person.
He is.
Like, and ABC, I know what they're gonna say. They're gonna be like, well, you know, he signed our contract that says he doesn't have a criminal record and says that he hasn't had a restraining order against him. Like, Reality Steve paid $24.99
Right.
and found out about the drunk driving and the arrest for the burglary. He didn't find the restraining order because the restraining order was sealed, but the burglary was out there.
Right.
And there are details in the burglary that he was breaking into an ex-girlfriend's house.
Like,
so
it's like if Reality Steve can figure this shit out, like,
yeah,
what is wrong with the producers? I mean, honestly, Mary, they're not going to say anything about it. They're not going to say a word about it.
They're probably being advised by counsel not to.
Yeah, like they're
because
just going to pretend like it didn't happen, even though we're all talking about it.
And like Jenn is now on another ABC show.
Yeah.
So until she gets eliminated from Dancing with the Stars or quits the show, she can't really do anything. I bet their contract has some kind of indemnity clause that says that you can't sue them for like non-negligent conduct or something that happens during the show, including this kind of thing. But like they let this guy be alone in a room with their contestant.
Yeah, that is
like,
so fucking scary.
So scary.
And so like just it's not that hard, ABC. And like this is a national television show. It's one of the most popular shows on TV. There's so many viewers. Like, people get a lot of notoriety out of it. Like, you need to do your due diligence. I can't believe we're even talking about this. How many
I
seasons
know.
and like 25 years into this show? Like, what is going on behind the scenes that this type of person who, like, it's really not that hard to figure out who he is, got so far through the process? And like,
Yeah.
even when they saw that he was like getting traction with Jen early on, like, they should have done a little extra digging, and then they should have somehow had him exit the show because,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, we're so mad at the franchise right now. Like, we're always mad at the franchise.
No, but like extra
yeah.
mad. And like I understand temporary restraining order is a lower threshold to get. I just still think like she's not lying. This person
No.
is like terrified, and I don't care if it's temporary or permanent because permanent is extremely hard to get.
Right.
So just because something is a lower threshold and people maybe sometimes abuse the system, like everyone claiming that, like point me to a fucking stat,
Yeah.
but you can't. And I just think just because it wasn't permanent doesn't mean it wasn't serious. It probably means that this girl like did not want to go through the process of getting a permanent restraining order during her final years at college. Like I
Yeah.
just don't think we should be requiring victims to go through these onerous processes to be safe.
No.
And
And she already did so much
yeah,
more than anyone. I mean, I don't know. I just think, like, especially in college, it's like a time in many young women's lives where, like, I experienced it. I don't know about you, Mary, but like, I've been watching the show Tell Me Lies, and there's like,
yeah, same.
there it's based in reality, and it's like things happen and you let them go a little more easily
Yeah,
than you should because of a variety of reasons, including how young you are. Like, I can't even
yeah.
imagine going through any sort of process to file a restraining order against someone at that age. Like, let alone now when I'm almost
No,
40.
like
Like, seriously.
yeah, like like no, same. I think it is exactly that where it's like the process of letting something go. Like to share a personal anecdote, I was harassed slash mildly assaulted by a guy that was in my friend group in college.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I did not want to rock the boat, so I joked it off with everybody else. And to this day, I still see that person. And like, I regret not saying anything, but I also have a lot of grace for myself and anybody else who's been through that for not saying anything because you do not want to rock the boat in college. Like, you want to enjoy time
Yeah.
and like making it feels like at that time, like, oh, I'm not going to make myself a spectacle, even though in a perfect world, obviously this person did that to you. It shouldn't be your fault. It shouldn't place any onus on you. But like, this is America.
Yeah.
It is on the victim to figure out the best way to protect themselves. And sometimes that unfortunately is saying nothing and preserving the peace.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of this girl that she didn't do that. It was a much more extreme situation than I was in.
Right.
But this was potentially really scary.
Potentially. Yeah. Like, I mean, I never ever want to see that guy's face again.
No,
That message that you just read me, like, I'm still just like
I know.
so disgusted by his behavior and how he can talk to anyone like that. And it's just like, like all the stuff we saw early in the season, all the likes of all those really abhorrent posts about all these different issues that we care about. It's like, it's all true. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
all true. Obviously, he's a fucking asshole. And like,
Mhm.
poor Jen. I just, I hope
Poor
that she's
like
okay. Like,
same.
I'm just so glad she's out of that situation. Like, that's the
Me too.
only, like, good thing happening here is that she's out of that situation.
Me too. And like Bachelor Data has done a really good job of like every single comment on her post about this. People are tagging Jen Tran being like, oh, at Jen, like, so sorry this happened to you. And Bachelor Data has been replying, like, I understand what you're trying to do. I'm sure Jen appreciates the support. She does not want to be tagged in posts about this guy.
Yeah.
Like, she does not want her attention drawn to anything linked to this guy, especially this.
Yeah. It's going to get back to her. Like, you don't need to
She
tag her.
knows.
Like, she's
Yeah.
already getting enough. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine. And I don't know. I know people mean well. Like,
Yeah.
social media is such a mess. But, like, yeah, Bachelor Data just continues to do the Lord's work, seriously, in terms
They
of
do.
just
They really
like
do.
making sure we all know what's going on and from a respectful place where, really thinking about people and what they need and like so appreciative to have
Me
Bachelor
too.
data. Well, hopefully, I don't know what I hope. I just hope that Bachelor Nation never gets this as wrong again. Although
Yeah, they did.
they did. So that brings us to Joan's season, which we want to talk about all the delightful things that we saw in this episode, but I think we have to. Sorry, this is so dark, everyone.
I know. It's we were texting before the episode being like, oh my God, it's so hard to get into this.
Right.
I felt so stupid sitting there making memes when this was all going on.
Yeah.
And then literally as the episode's airing, I text Indra, I'm like, you're not going to fucking believe it.
Yeah.
A guy on the Golden Bachelorette has a temporary restraining order out against him.
An active one?
Well, yeah, I guess someone
I looked at when was it filed against him? And I'll just tell you right now, the
Can't
person
remember.
is Gil.
Yeah, it's Gil. Yeah, I don't
and
know. I were dancing.
Clearly Gil is getting far in this season from the preview, which is really disappointing. I wish it could be someone who's going home night 2 or whatever.
I know. He didn't get a rose for a while, and he was giving one of those speeches that was like, I want to stick around. I want to
Right.
be here, blah, blah. And then I was like, oh, maybe he's going to go.
The preview.
But no,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a restraining order. I remember the thing that you posted online showed assault was part of it, correct?
Yeah.
Which is I mean, I don't know if there are any more details than that, but already, as we've been saying, if there's a restraining order, already really bad.
Yeah.
But then having assault as the reason is super scary,
Mhm.
even more scary than it already is. And I'm just I'm looking at Joan, this sweet woman, and I'm just
Yeah.
no, 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 no. So
Yeah, he was, it's his ex-girlfriend brought the temporary restraining order against him, and someone posted in California it's extremely low threshold, Rachel Leviss got one. It's that is true. They do only hear
right.
one side of the story, but if assault is one of the allegations, I don't really care about the other side of the story, and maybe I should because I'm a lawyer, but I don't in this situation.
Yeah.
I am curious to see how they'll address this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And again, they probably won't.
Yeah.
Especially if he doesn't win, which I mean, I don't know. I don't know where the season is going, but I can just tell he's going to be
Yeah.
around for a while. So, I mean, unfortunately, he'll be around. We're probably not going to focus on him very much just because we don't want to really reward this person for whatever's going on. And of course, if there's more information that comes out about the charges or whatever, we'll put that on our Instagram. So,
Yeah.
definitely follow us there because we're following all these different places and putting stuff up in our stories, especially just to make sure. So, okay, we can move on from all that.
Yeah.
It is important to talk about, though, which is why we talked about it. But now we can talk about the season premiere of The Golden Bachelorette. I just I don't even know where to begin, really.
I literally cried almost immediately. I love Casey Musgraves. So using Rainbow was the perfect song because it's after something hard happens, other people can see that there's a rainbow over your head, but you're so caught in the clouds you can't see it right now. And so it's
oh my God.
Jenn
It's just so perfect.
And it's Joan talking over a montage of pictures of her and her husband, and she says, best 33 years ever.
Oh my God. And then, so what I was saying in our episode that just came out yesterday was I don't know anything about this woman. Tell me something. And of course, just hearing what happened to her husband, just so suddenly, finding out he has pancreatic cancer and him losing all that weight and just, the way he died and the way she talked about that. It was,
oh my
that
God.
was a
She
lot.
went to bed for 2 hours and he passed. She checked on him at 1 a.m. and he died by the time she checked on him at 3. And it's you could still see the guilt that she felt over that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also just, having to tell her son who was in the house and needing to go be in another room for an hour by herself just to hold off the inevitable. Cause, when you lose someone, you're dealing with the grief and the grief of so many others. And honestly, logistically telling people and just the pain over and over again, it's oh my gosh.
I think about that so often where it should be a job in the United States that you can hire, and I'm sure you can if you pay up, but like it should not be on the family members to plan the funeral
I
because
know.
I think about this all the time, especially with my husband's Jewish, and you have to bury your past loved one like as soon as possible,
Right.
except for some holidays. So it's like just, I guess it's almost been 2 years. Ethan's grandpa died, and his dad and his aunts like are in the midst of this heavy grief
Yeah.
and have to call like the funeral home and the synagogue and the cemetery.
They have to
Mere
plan a
hours.
huge event, essentially.
A huge event.
Yeah.
And hours after like your loved one has passed. Like I remember they came when my grandma died, she died in our house. My mom was like packing a bag for her outfit that she was going to wear to the funeral, like to send with the
Wow.
coroner. So it's like, it's so immediate that there
Yeah.
should just be like a service that comes in and does it. Cause this is just like too
It's
much.
too much. It should be like paid for by the government.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That'd be nice.
Like it should just be a benefit. We're paying taxes, please. Offer
Yeah.
this as a benefit.
Please don't make me plan my parents' funeral. I can't handle
Oh
it.
my gosh. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, and I mean, there's so many stories like this from people in the season who have lost a spouse in one way or
Yeah.
another. I mean, it's not everyone. Some people, their marriages didn't work out, or I think there was at least one guy who, like, it wasn't even clear that he had been in a marriage previously.
I don't know that Pascal's been married.
Yeah. Oh, Pascal. Pascal. He sounds like the chef, Jacques Pepin.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
verbatim, and I'm like, it everyone was talking about how it sounds fake, his accent, but I'm like, I
Well,
don't know, it could be real.
he moved here at like 18
Yeah.
and he's been here for like, well, he did joke like when he asked Joan to go to Paris with him, like on a whim, he was joking with the guys after, like, well, I have to go back every few years to get the accent
Right,
back.
yeah.
Like he was kind of like joking that like he's been here for such a long time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are aspects that you never can lose, it's like my parents will
Yeah.
always have Indian accents no matter
Yeah.
what, but, like, yeah, there are to be that thick.
Yeah.
But he
He's
never, like, slipped up though or anything, Like, so
No.
there's some authenticity there.
Yeah, he's 69, so he's been here for a long
Yeah.
time fighting to keep that accent.
I don't think he's gonna be around for long.
I think he is.
You do?
Yeah, I think Joan is really attracted to him.
Okay, but I'm confused because okay. I'm looking at the ABC website and I, like, missed a line of guys. I was like, "Where is he? Why isn't he in this list?" Okay, but he's
Yeah.
here. So, like, who are your, like, top guys? Just, like, who really caught your attention?
Well,
I'm glad you
I'm glad you asked because obviously there's love of my life, number one Bachelor crush, Mark
Oh,
Anderson.
man.
I was like sitting with Ethan on the couch, and Ethan is like on his phone half the time.
Yeah.
Like he's not like really paying attention. Mark gets out and he's like, damn. Like,
Like, who
And
is
I'm like,
that hot
I
piece
know.
of ass?
who is that hot piece of ass? And he like didn't even clock the part where like he knows Kelsey and Joey, obviously, but I don't think he was like paying much attention to Kelsey's dad because he has very different interests than me, obviously, attraction wise.
Yes.
So he wasn't looking at the hot dad. And so when he came out, he was just like, whoa. And I was like, I know, that's like the only appropriate reaction
Yes.
to Mark. But I also like, there's like two different groups. There are the men that I think are absolutely adorable and I would jump in front of a train for them.
Yes.
And then there's the men that I would let run train, I guess is the only way to put it.
Yes, yes. So here for it. Yeah, because there are a few.
Yeah.
Like zaddies in this group.
Oh, so many. Like Jonathon?
Okay. Talking about how he's invisible, and then they like show this full body shot of him like
Yeah.
looking incredible. I was just like, you are not invisible.
No, even Joan was like, well, but you're so handsome. He goes, yeah, how could I feel invisible, right?
Oh,
like he's like, it's like, yeah, how could you?
Oh my
Like,
God. Jonathan had me until the poem. The
Yeah,
poem
I
really ruined it for me.
I think for me, it like ruined it, but like
Yeah.
for Joan, I think she did the poem on her season, as he said. So I
Right,
think she's
yeah.
like she's kind of corny like that.
Right.
So yeah, I think that it makes a lot of sense.
Totally. I guess I should just say, like, a little more about kind of my first impression of Joan too, is like,
Yeah.
what a sweet woman.
Yeah.
She's kind of like, she's like that mom who just wants
Yeah.
everyone to feel great and to be having a good time. She always checking in on everyone. Like, she's that, like, total vibe, and she's
Yeah.
gorgeous, and she's fun. Like, I can totally see why all these men are just, like, smitten with her.
Yeah, she just is like a very warm
Yeah.
person, and I think it's really important for a situation like this where people are putting themselves out there. Like it is brave to admit that you're lonely. And
Yes.
it's brave to like go on a show, I think especially for men this age.
Yep.
They're boomers.
Yes.
It's incredibly hard for boomers to admit vulnerability and
Yes.
to say that I am lacking something. And all these men, and I think like a large shout out has to go to the daughters of the Golden Bachelorette contestants, because so many of these men
Girl
are
dad.
so deeply in touch with their feelings,
Yes.
and they credit their daughters for opening them up like that.
I know. There's so many girl dads too.
So many girl dads.
I don't think that that's a mistake. Like,
No, I don't think so either. Like I have a girl dad, and like people like him make the world go round. You know, they're just the best. I texted him that I loved him at one point because I was just like, this is too much to listen to the guys talk about their daughters and like,
Okay, so let's talk about the first impression Rose guy, because he's a girl dad.
yeah, Keith's job title is girl dad.
Yes. They
Which I
literally
love.
on the Chiron, or like just in general. Like, so he's retired, or maybe,
Yeah.
I don't really know. I don't remember what his whole thing was.
Yeah, girl dad 62.
Keith likes to have a good time.
Keith is 6'5".
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't even clock that. Joan must be tall herself.
Yeah, she definitely had some heels on.
Yeah.
I really liked him. He has a really unique story too, where like his wife was battling addiction, and
Right.
he had to remove himself and his daughters from the situation.
Yeah.
And he didn't ever blame her or like, I'm such a hero for doing this. Like he was just like, yeah, it's me and my girls.
Right.
And yeah, it says the sales director and father of 3 is loving, smart, and creative. It's like, yeah, of course.
Of course. I like Keith. I'm a little question mark about him, if I'm going to be.
Are you?
Yeah. And I can't even really tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
I just think like he has the potential to maybe like have a dark side.
Ooh.
And I think I'm just so like scarred by Bachelor
I
Nation
know.
lately that and
I know.
Gary, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Like
Another girl dad who betrayed us.
And I think I'm skeptical of this generation, which is not fair. But
yeah, I'm trying to like go into it with open eyes,
Right.
but it's kind of hard.
it's really
Given-
hard.
Like how badly we were duped by Gary. But I'm gonna give them all a chance except for Gil.
Yes.
Everyone else gets a chance, and I don't know. I like Keith. I think he gives me like guy vibes a little bit. Like
Yeah.
he like when he got the first impression rose, he was like, "Did you guys bet on me?" And they were all like, "Congrats, man!" And they were so excited for each
I
other.
know.
Like at one point when Joan was playing pickleball with I forget who,
Yeah.
and it kind of like the frame of the shot looked like all the guys were going to be descending in to be like, you're hogging her or like share her.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, can we join? And they all just like started playing pickleball together.
I know.
It's like,
it's
so cute.
It was so cute. I mean, I think this is like a very early first impression of my own that I can easily be swayed in either direction. Like,
Of course.
there's no way that I'm just putting that out there. Like, I wasn't sold. I was not sold. There are other men that I liked a lot more than him.
He didn't like catch my attention too
Yeah.
much. Like when the rose went to him, I was kind of like, okay. Like I thought it was gonna go to Guy, who she seemed to really like,
Right.
or Jonathan, because her and Jonathan had like a good conversation.
Yeah.
Or Kim.
Even that Jordan guy.
Oh yeah, she really likes Jordan.
Or Mark.
Well, yeah.
I mean, come on. Like, what are you doing?
Well, and flashing forward, like they hadn't shown us Mark at all in any previews, And then in this preview at the end of the episode, there's her saying, "I love you, Mark."
Yeah, no, he says it to her, right? Or
Yeah.
yeah, like so he goes far, and you can tell she likes him. Like,
Oh.
there is that element of, like, they've seen each other before, they're both
Mhm.
attractive, like, it's hard not to find and, like, Mark's eye contact, whoa. He knows what
Yeah,
he's
like
doing.
yeah.
One more thing about Keith that I don't like based on his bio,
Mhm.
you know how they have 3 fun facts at the end? The
Yeah.
last one is Keith had the best time at Stagecoach.
I I liked that. I mean, I'm going to a music festival with my parents this weekend.
Okay, which
So I'm
music
kind of like
festival?
so it's small. It's in St. Augustine, Florida, where they live. It's
Oh,
called Sing Out Loud.
totally different vibe.
Totally different vibes. It's one stage. Stagecoach, I don't even wanna
Yeah.
manage. Like, this one is, like it has Eric Church and then Noah Kahan is the next day. So,
Okay.
like, decently big, but not, like, wandering around to stages and stuff, but I kind of was like, I wanna know who he went to Stagecoach with before I can evaluate that I like him at
I
Stagecoach.
know, I'm kinda like, I don't know. I'm gonna hold there's just some stuff, like
His guilty pleasure is Ben& Jerry's ice
okay,
cream,
we
which
love.
to
We
me
love.
is always, like, a liberal
True.
flag because
Yeah, Ben and Jerry.
Republicans hate Ben& Jerry's for talking about mass incarceration reform and many other things, so
Yeah, Ben and Jerry's,
I don't
Vermont
know.
born. What's your favorite Ben and Jerry's flavor?
I kind of, like, go all over the place, but I really love triple caramel chunk when they have it.
Ooh, I don't think I've ever had that.
I tested at the factory in Vermont,
Yeah.
and then we got to vote on it, and then it came out in stores when I was, like,
Oh,
8, so I still feel like
responsible?
yeah.
Like,
What about
basically,
you?
you made it happen?
Exactly.
I have tried to go to that factory, like, 5 billion times because,
I
like
know their hours are not regular.
no, they're not regular, like, during COVID, everything was a mess, like, we go to Vermont every summer and more because Patrick's from there, like, it's like, 20-minute drive, whatever, and,
Yeah.
like, every time there's some reason why we can't go in, but
Ugh.
we did, like, get ice cream there once because they always have the, like, stand open,
Yeah.
and I had never had half-baked
Oh,
before, but
so
it was
good.
listed as, like, their number 1 flavor, like, most sold
Yep.
flavor, and I was like, "Okay, I have to try it," and I didn't, like, ever even look what the ingredients were, but it was that I was like, "It's a mixture of my 2 favorite flavors,
Yeah.
chocolate chip
It's
cookie
everything.
dough and chocolate fudge brownie," and now it's my
It's
favorite.
everything. Oh, now I'm just on the Ben& Jerry's website. One weird thing about me is I love s'mores ice cream. I don't know why,
Oh,
like, that combination of flavors. They have a PB s'more, so peanut butter s'more.
wow.
This is really lightening it up after that conversation we opened this with.
I know. Well, Keith, thanks for bringing that back into our lives.
Yeah, thanks,
I
Keith. Now I'm on the website.
Yeah, we appreciate that, and you're right, that is kind of a good, indicator about his belief system, which we love.
Yeah.
Um
And, like, I wanna give Ben& Jerry's a shout out that they used to partner with Hershey, and I love Hershey's, but Hershey's chocolate is not fair trade, and
Mhm.
Ben& Jerry's is committed to an entirely ethical ice cream production, and because Ben& Jerry's cut off their contract with Hershey,
Yeah.
Hershey committed to being fair trade by 2030.
Yeah, they're like, "We need
So,
that Ben& and Jerry business back."
yeah.
This
So,
is
there we go.
this is why it's important for these kind of larger businesses, and, like, truly, Ben& and Jerry's started in Vermont, like, this very liberal thing, like, they have a flavor after Bernie Sanders, like, we love.
Mhm.
We love.
Yeah,
They have
of course.
stayed true to what they believe in, which we appreciate. Okay, can we talk about Charles L?
Only for a year and a half, approximately. I would jump in front of a bullet for him.
I am obsessed with this man, like, he is so funny.
Obsessed.
I feel like there's a way that people could read how funny he is as, like, a cultural mismatch or whatever, but I think he actually has amazing comedic timing, like, I think he
Yeah.
knows exactly what he's doing.
He knows how people perceive him, and
Yes.
he, like, flips it back on them. Like, I can just tell, like, just from the picture of him and his wife who died.
Yes.
Ugh,
Ugh.
so many dead wives, it's so sad. He basically, like you can tell that they laughed a lot. Like, the picture of them at their daughter's wedding, they're, like, in the middle of laughing, and, like, the way his daughter talked about him in the final video and was just like, "Just be yourself, and, like,
Oh my god,
it'll
his
all work
daughter's
out."
message was
So
I was
sweet.
just, like, tears everywhere.
Yeah.
He'd
Ugh.
love to see
And
Britney Spears perform one day. Okay,
I was just
iconic.
gonna bring that up. Iconic. And his goals are like, he wants to go to the moon. Like, that's a great goal.
This is a great goal. Like, the part where that guy was cooking like a full meal in the kitchen
Yeah.
and Charles was just standing by, he's like, let me know if you need any pointers.
I mean, he's like, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Oh my God.
Like, that was like pure comedy. Like, he knew
Yeah.
he was like roasting him a little, like, like, I can show you up in the kitchen. Like, I loved it.
Let me try it. I do want to talk about Jack. I feel like in a past life, I was married to a man like Jack, and we just like owned a catering hall and we yelled at each other a lot. Like I just feel like
I know. So Patrick was watching me and he was like, what a good move to like make that meal. I was like, no, but that's not a good move on these shows because like if that's what you're relying
you
on
spent
to
a
make
lot
the
of time doing it.
connection, then like you're not actually having a real connection. And like,
Yeah,
go ahead.
it's a good move if you can do it on a date.
Right.
Like if you have a
Right,
cooking date
yes.
set up and you can pull it out. But like he spent he made hollandaise sauce. He spent like an hour and a half in the kitchen away from Joan. But like I don't even know if he cared because when he was just wandering the house.
Yes.
Like pointing out like, wow, can't wait to swim there. Like
I know.
can't
Like there's
it's like
72 candles on this wall.
he's like, there's kind of like a hippie vibe. It's like, it's so classic dads that all of them walked around the house, like surveying the specs, like banging. Charles L was banging on the
Oh my
countertop
gosh.
at one point to make sure it was like secure. I'm like,
Upset. Like I saw a meme where someone was just like, I could watch Charles L like touring the Bachelor Mansion for 9 hours and not get bored. And I was like, same.
yeah, like,
Honestly.
what, like, why not? Like,
What this man, like he has a future in like entertainment. Like
oh,
he's gonna be like after this season, I'm so excited to see what happens. Like so excited.
I think this season of Men has to cement paradise because there's
Oh
so
my
many
gosh.
gems in this group that'll be so funny. Like Charles L and Jack on the beach, like just swimming around and like
Oh my
it,
gosh.
it would just be so much fun.
I saw a meme putting Jack and Susan with each other and I was like, actually
wow.
a match made in heaven. Like
That
actually.
house would be like the biggest hug in the world. Like you just walk out of that house and you're just like you roll out of there because they fed you so
They
much.
fed you so much and they made you so happy and everyone was just having a great time, like the whole
Oh,
time.
so fun. One of Jack's fun facts is that he was sitting front row at Elvis's last concert.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's kind of a cool fun fact, actually.
That's a big flex. And if you sing Frank Sinatra, like you're gonna win big points in my book.
Yeah.
That was pretty. I love that song My Way. It always makes me cry,
Yes.
especially if an old man is looking back on his life. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, it was a good move. It was a good move.
He played it right.
Okay, who else do we need to talk about? We need to talk about Gary.
Would murder for Gary.
I don't know. Like he's the narrator of the season.
Yeah.
Like
And he loved these guys so immediately. Like within the first 10 minutes of the episode, he goes, all of these guys are my newfound brothers. Each man in his own way is someone special.
oh my, did you
And
know
like,
he's the godson of Tina Turner?
oh,
Okay, I'm looking at his bio. Like, of course he is.
I hope we get to see him dance.
I mean, even without that, this man, he's just everything. He's like fun, he's emotional, he cares
Yeah.
about people. He like you can tell he's going to like be the glue in the house.
Yeah, when his daughter and grandson came on the screen and when you hear the boy go, hey, pop, pop, and he immediately starts crying and the men like all put their hands on his shoulder. Like,
Ugh, the bonding. I mean, the producers like I'm
yeah,
mad at you,
good job.
but good job.
You blew it except for with fucking Gil, but
Yeah.
apparently his restraining order didn't show up on the thing, blah, blah, blah.
But whoever was like, we should capture video of these people's children and then show it all at the same time on the first night, like genius level work.
Unreal. Like next level. Like that is really, that's an amazing thing to do.
Yes.
And like immediately like breaks people down and like breaks, because I feel like the reasoning behind it was like with men that age, you're so worried that they're going to be like a brick wall, and like
Right.
nothing can like break down a father than hearing from like his children saying how they're proud of him and like
Yes.
excited for him. Because I think a lot of these people that like are widowers or like later in life divorces like are carrying around a lot of guilt about being here, and so
Yeah.
seeing your family send you off in that way must be so nice.
Totally, like, amazing. I'm going through these men to see. Okay, so I think Christopher might be a front runner.
He's so hot.
Because we
And he's
see
from
him
West Babylon.
and
I'll
we
go
see,
find him.
we see this, like, moment of, like, her laying her head on his shoulder, like, in some beautiful location, and I'm like, "I can't wait for this moment."
Yeah, I wonder how soon they're gonna travel.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I hope soon. Like, I mean, with Jen's season, they like immediately went to New Zealand, so that was
Yeah.
cool. It's kind of like, why not? Like, why do we have to stick around the US for so long? Like, go do something really cool. We don't really know anything about him. We didn't see much about him, but I'm looking forward to finding out more about him. Chalk
Oh, no.
seems to be kind of a front runner.
Chalk, I think, is gonna surprise us
I think
because
so too.
they spent she didn't talk to him a lot, but they spent a lot of time like putting the camera on him.
Yep.
I think, and his dog's name is Super Tubs. So like what else are we gonna do?
Oh my gosh. I mean, he's handsome.
He's very handsome.
He yeah, I feel like they just showed him a lot, so he, like, stood out to me. Like, I really don't have anything to say about him other than, like,
Mm-mm.
I think he's gonna go far.
I think he will too. Another one of my favorites, I don't think he's gonna make it far though, is Dan talking about his adopted daughter.
Oh my gosh. Something I don't she liked him though. She thinks he's
Yeah, she liked
handsome.
him.
He has kind of a weird affect. Do you know what I mean? He seemed really nervous to me.
He was really nervous, I think, until he, like, got the video of his daughter, and
Yeah.
then he was kind of, like, a little bit more relaxed, but he was definitely trying to, like, say as many things as he could as fast as he could. I
Yes.
think he was just a little bit, like I think no one wanted to go the first night because it would be so they would feel embarrassment, like, heavier than other people because they are these, like, older, prideful men who, like, put themselves out there.
Right.
So I feel like they were just all so nervous, they didn't wanna go night 1, and
Yeah, I mean, yeah, which is like the ultimate. Everyone is always like, "Oh my gosh, please don't let me be the last
I know.
one." So, I don't know. I actually think he might be a, like, number 6 go home
Yeah, he
situation.
could be like a hard goodbye, but I feel like I see them being like friends as opposed to
Right.
interested in each other. I think another front runner is Kim.
Yeah, I don't like him.
You don't? Oh, I liked him. When he saluted her?
I didn't like that. I just think it was just too corny, but
Mm,
they showed him, like, looking kinda, like, angry in a corner a lot. Do you know what I mean?
I think he was tired.
Yeah, well, yes. It's fair. He is one of the older men too. He's
He's
69.
69. Yeah.
I mean, I there's nothing, like, outwardly bad about him. I'm just not, like, sold.
Yeah, I think she's gonna like him. And he's definitely I can imagine him handsome when he was younger. And I think he was another he got divorced and then he got remarried and he lost his wife after 8 years.
Yes. Yes.
And his wife's name was Mary, which just proves my point about my name that every old lady's name is Mary. Like a lot of them, I bet their wives are named Mary.
Yeah, that's such a like, I didn't realize what you said was true. It's like the firstborn in a
Yeah.
Catholic family daughter is often named Mary.
Yeah.
Patrick's mom. She goes
She's
by a
Mary?
different name, but her given name is Mary, and that follows that Irish Catholic. Like, there you
Yep.
go. So,
That's their whole thing.
very interesting. I like that Kim would love to learn how to play the piano. Lifelong learner. Love that.
He's got time.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Start picking up lessons.
Yeah. Like, what else do you have to do? Seriously. I don't know. I didn't really, like, see a spark between them.
I felt like when he came out, maybe because it was the first one,
Yeah.
or one of the first, I think there was just this I feel like to him, like he was almost like assurance to her that like, okay, they aren't sending me these like old doddering men. You know
Right,
what I
right,
mean? Like
right.
if you're Joan, you're probably a little bit nervous that Gary is the exception,
Right.
and then you get this whole group of guys that come out and they're like all in their late 60s and early to late 60s, and they're all very like funny and joking around, and I don't want to say sprightly, but I guess I kind of mean sprightly.
Yeah.
Very able-bodied for their age, and I think that that's probably a reassurance to her.
Oh, totally. Okay, so I didn't actually not like him. The one guy who I actually was like, I really don't think I like this guy is Michael.
Michael. Oh, I didn't pay attention to him at all.
I think he just gave me like a creepy vibe.
Yeah, I mean, he's a banker.
But so
And-
many of them are financial people. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way you can retire by 55 or 60 in this country anymore.
Right. Yes. Yeah, like portfolio manager, retired financial analyst, insurance executive, private investor, finance executive, like so many of them.
Yeah, I say this as the daughter of a retired finance executive. They're the only ones who can like live pretty comfortably.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think that is like a common career path, like up for that. I mean, it still is. Obviously, it's not like that's gone away, but it's like I guess I'm not surprised to see that, but
oh, I figured out why you don't like Michael.
Okay, why?
He went to Lollapalooza 3 times in his 50s.
Yeah.
And he's a Swiftie, which you don't like.
But you know what? Lollapalooza is so much cooler than Stagecoach. So he gets a few points for that, actually.
It is.
I don't know. I feel he was one of the ones who I think was like stressing about getting a rose. Like they were showing him a lot. And then he did. He was towards the end, though. Like I don't think he's going to be around for long.
I didn't really clock him too much.
Yeah. So
I think because he's like not as hot as some of the others, unfortunately. Sorry, Michael.
Yeah. I think Jordan is a front runner. Did I already mention it? I did.
We didn't talk about him too much, but I think so too. And he won a Mr. Legs contest in college. So
wow. We gotta love that.
Yeah.
And he loves Thanksgiving. I mean,
same.
That's everything. And there was one other person I wanted to talk about. I mean, okay. Well, Mark. I want to look at Mark's bio.
Oh yeah, I haven't clicked on that either.
You may recognize him.
Dad.
Blah blah blah. He has 5 children. Wait.
Yeah.
But we only met 3 of them.
Yeah, I think that Kelsey said after she did a whole story like before Hometowns introducing all of her siblings, and said after that 2 of them got cut.
Okay. Mark is terrified of ostriches.
Okay.
Maybe they're going to go to South Africa.
Yeah, and they're going to make him look
like that's an Easter egg right there.
They're going to make him ride an ostrich.
Yeah, for
Poor
sure.
guy.
I mean, ostriches are actually terrifying. Like,
no, they're very violent.
Like living in South Africa, like driving through the countryside, they're everywhere, and like
they're very violent,
scary looking.
Yeah,
and large.
Yeah, they're huge.
His favorite movie is Elf. We love
like that,
and he can wiggle his ears. Okay, these are fun facts.
Yeah, I mean, and Mark is Mark.
Mark is Mark. I mean, Mark raised Kelsey, and I just love her more and more.
I know she's been an amazing person to have in this franchise now. Like watching Dancing with the Stars, and she was just like in awe of Joey, and she had such a funny response today because everyone has been like, wow, Kelsey's a stronger woman than me, like couldn't handle like Jenna grinding on my man. And she was like, do you know how I met him? She was like, do you know how I became Joey's fiance? Well, actually she said, do you know how I won the Super Bowl ring? Like,
yeah, like also it's Joey, guys. Like,
yeah,
I have he's
not going anywhere.
Like Joey, you can just tell still in all their social media videos, like he is like, I won the best prize of all. Like Kelsey is amazing. Like he doesn't have eyes for anyone else. He really doesn't.
No.
Okay, if you had to choose right now one winner, who would it be?
Okay, I don't think Mark is gonna win.
No, I don't think so either.
I think Guy could win.
Wow.
Or there's someone else I had in mind. I don't know why. I'm keeping Bob the chiropractor in the back of my brain.
Oh, the guy who got struck by lightning?
The guy who got struck by fucking lightning.
That was wild. That was wild.
He still enjoys going for ocean swims. There's something really sweet about him, and they focused on him a lot during the rose ceremony.
Yeah.
I actually don't think he'll win. I think Guy or Dan.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
Okay, I think Dan is a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying Jordan.
I can definitely see that.
They like showed him in a way in this first episode where it was like, because he didn't have the best night,
No.
but they showed him a lot anyway,
Yeah.
which is often like one to watch.
I think a top 4 would be Bob, Chalk, Dan, and Jordan.
Yeah.
Or Guy. I don't know. They really liked Guy. They focused on him crying as the guys were leaving and him saying
Right.
like he was, so excited to like have this renewed chance at love. He said all the right things to be going far.
Right.
Who do you think the Golden Bachelor is going to be?
Mark.
Yeah, I think Mark or Gary. They really like Gary.
I mean, Gary would be.
And it doesn't hurt to get into the Turner family business. Oh my god, that's so funny. Gary
I know-
Turner, and then you have Gary, the godson of Tina Turner.
Ah! I just think you have a home run with Mark.
Yeah, if he wants to do it, I feel like it's his job to lose.
He's so good looking.
Yeah.
Like, he's a great dad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would be very surprised if they could dig up anything negative about him anywhere.
I'm sure people are trying.
I'm sure they are.
Like, he's too beloved for people to not be like in the back of their sick mind digging something up. Like, and Kelsey and Joey are too beloved for there not to be a story that's like, oh, and Kelsey's and Joey's future father-in-law is X, Y, and Z. So I don't know. I think if he doesn't get it, he turned it down because
Agreed.
the family's been on TV for 3 years and they're just
Agreed.
ready to like take a break and be private.
Right.
Yeah. I just can see I just feel like we need a paradise season. It would just be so much fun.
It's just like we know regular BIP is coming back in 2025. So I sort of feel like they might hold off on that. Maybe it would be a type of like thing that we get in that winter period between. Because then it wouldn't be so hot. It would be a little hot. We got to watch out for these people. We really do.
I know.
Oh, well, it was a great premiere.
Great premiere.
And I loved how they introduced the men's like backstory, like packages throughout the entire episode.
I liked that a lot. It made me remember them a lot better.
Yeah. And it was just like,
really
it wasn't
that.
all at once. It was like,
No.
okay, now I get to know this person. Now I get to know, like, the pacing was good. I think production, they're doing a good job with these golden seasons. And it's just impossible not to like feel something when you watch the show.
Yeah, it just like there were just little moments throughout that just like grabbed me, like David the rancher, his mom coming on and saying, "David, take care of yourself. There's only one you." It's just like little stuff like that. It's just like the show was full of such sweet moments.
Yes.
And genuine male friendship, which I feel like I think I've talked about this before, is something that's missing from TV.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I love it too. I'm looking forward to it. I'm in. Like all the skepticism I had is out the window.
Yeah, and we'll see how they deal with the elephant in the room.
Right. They won't. I mean, we're gonna have to deal with it if things come out.
I guess we'll see if they edited him out.
Right. They may give him less screen time. But like, I mean, he's definitely gonna get a one-on-one day. Like, there's gonna be stuff that we can't really avoid. And I'm sure more info will come out. I'm surprised. Like, there was that one post that you found.
Yeah.
But there hasn't really been a lot more talk about it. So I guess we'll see.
Well, People magazine covered it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Let me pull it up.
Okay. Well, that's definitely legit then.
If I could spell people correctly, that would be great. Yeah. Golden Bachelorette ran clear background check on contestant Gil Ramirez before ex's restraining order. So I guess it was after casting.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
No, Bachelor Nation pushed that out because they want us to know that they did do their homework.
Yeah. An ex-girlfriend filing a temporary restraining order against him just 3 months ago.
Okay. Well, that's fucking sketchy.
So did he like get jumped and then stalk his girlfriend after Joan?
Who knows? But okay. This is going to develop into something.
Oh, yeah. June 11th.
If they're was the restraining order?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay. Well, then maybe the only good thing is that like he doesn't win.
Yeah. I hope so. Because I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's people has obtained documents. I'm looking for any language that says like a source close to the a source tells people that the filing occurred in the brief period. If I learned anything about PR, a source is always the person. Like it's not any random source. It's coming directly from ABC's PR person, and they have a relationship with people, and that's why that's coming out.
Wow. Okay. Well, there's going to be more on that then. If they
Yeah.
did push something out to People magazine, that means they're ready to talk about it.
The insider added that due to the information coming out, the show has further edited his already limited screen time and minimized him in promotional assets going forward.
Okay. So maybe it won't be as much of an issue.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. It's something.
Yeah, it's something.
Quickly, should we talk about Dancing with the Stars?
Yes.
Okay. I haven't watched in many seasons, so it was like I had fun watching.
It's so fun.
Are Julianne Hough and Carlton Alfonso Ribeiro, are they new hosts or
They have hosted for a few seasons.
Okay.
I think since Tyra Banks left, they have been hosting together. Alfonso won his season, so I think that's why they have him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
And Julianne is
Derek Huff's sister.
Yes. So there's a little connection there too.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just so much fun. Like
so fun. It's so fun.
I had my sisters over to watch with me and Ethan, and we drafted teams.
Yes.
So each of us got 3 people on our team, and I think my team's going to win.
Okay, who was it again? You had Joey,
Dwight Howard, and Brooks Nader. I think Dwight Howard or Joey are probably the winners this season.
Yeah, Brooks was like not that great.
No, she's not that great, but she's got the romance.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the alleged romance thing going. And
do we think that that's real?
No. No.
It's like 2 hotties on the dance floor.
I'm sure they're going to fuck, but they're not like in love. Like
she's so like, oh God. Like
she's 27.
I'm
sitting next to my sister on the couch who's also 27. I'm just like, I cannot believe you guys are the same age.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Not my favorite.
No.
Well, I didn't draft anyone. I mean, I couldn't believe how terrible Anna Delvey was. Like, she was so bad.
So bad. My sister Sarah has her on her team, and she's just like, anytime one of our teammates would come up, we would just be like, okay, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And then it's like, oh no, like this is so bad. Usually they save a good dance for last because
right. They want to end on a high note.
They want to end on a high note, and they want it to like, because you could vote as soon as the show starts,
right?
And until 15 minutes after. So if you are last in the order, you could potentially get less votes if people don't know who you are.
Right.
But if your dance in rehearsal is really, really good, they'll put you last because then the judges, of course, can like believably bump you up. So we thought they were going to put Steven last.
Right.
Steven Nadrowski. Nadrowski.
Yeah.
I forget how to say his name because he's really good also.
Yes.
But they put Anna last because I think they want her gone.
Well, and I think people were curious about her. I mean, I couldn't believe Carrie Ann like referenced that people don't like her.
Carrie Ann always says the wrong thing. And that was the wrong thing to say to Anna Delvey.
Yeah. I mean, it was what it was. Anna Delvey is like so robotic though. I don't even think it fazed her at all. Like she was just like, okay, whatever. Like
no, she thinks she did an amazing job.
Yes.
And like she'll probably get like 1 week, and then Eric Roberts is probably gonna go also.
Totally. Yeah, he's that. And like, okay, this was wild to me is that Reginald VelJohnson, like, they kept talking about him in Die Hard. I'm like, hello, he was the dad in Family Matters. Like,
I know.
How are we not talking about Family Matters? Like this iconic show where he was such an iconic character. Like, I forgot he was in Die Hard.
I didn't even know that. And I think they brought it up like briefly for him to be like, and I promise I'm not a cop.
Yeah.
I've just played a lot of cops. Cause it's like, he's literally always a cop.
He's always a cop.
And it's like Family Matters is like OG propaganda.
Yeah.
Like where like not only are the cops like kind to you, but like in the 90s, a black police officer would have no issues whatsoever at work. Like would have no problems at all. Like,
I just thought that was
I
wild.
love him.
His dance of literally standing in one place was the cutest thing I've ever
so
seen.
bad, but he's so cute. Like, he's the worst dancer ever on this show, but he's so cute.
It was cute. I mean, yeah, it's sort of like, yeah. I mean, if I had to, I think like Phaedra could end up like really growing in this role.
I think Phaedra will be good.
Yes, like because she was like pretty good.
Yeah.
And they did talk, but like she's definitely a beginner, but like
Yeah.
she was good. Joey was excellent. Like
What a way to open the show. He crushed it.
I just like I haven't seen Joey on my screen for a while, so I'd kind of like forgotten about
So
the Joey
charismatic.
effect.
The Joey effect is so
It's
real.
so like he's so hot.
Oh, I was like blushing. Like we're just like
Why
at
is
home kicking our feet.
Why is he so good? Like
Know
it's
what
not
it
just
is
how
about
he
him.
looks, it's like his way.
His whole thing. Like I don't know what it is about him. Like
It's
it just
we're speechless.
that whole family has true star quality.
Yes.
Like when Kelsey comes up on my TikTok, I'm like actually stunned by her beauty
Yeah.
90% of the time. Like I'm literally like
what? What?
and then like Mark, I'm like, what? And then like Joey's sisters, I'm like, what? It's like this whole group of people.
I know.
It's just so beautiful.
It may like Joey's season of The Bachelor like may go down as like the best of all time.
In terms of lead,
Yeah.
and like love story, yeah. Like
Yeah. I think Chandler like I don't know if she'll win it because she's like kind of an unknown.
Yeah, but she's
she
really
was
good.
She was the best. Like I thought
Yeah.
she was the best that night by far.
She'll like look like one of the pros by the end of the
Yeah.
season. She really was she's such a good dancer and she's so charismatic.
Yes.
And like she's a child actress, so she has like great stage presence. And like
Yeah.
I think she'll go really far, but she doesn't have enough fans to like win.
Yeah.
I think Steven could win.
Yeah. He's so charming and cute.
He's so charming. I think Jenn is going to get a lot better too.
Yeah, Jenn was
I think
good.
Jenn,
like
yeah, she was good. I think she'll get a lot better.
She was like, yeah, she was good, and I am like looking forward to seeing her more in the show. She looked really happy,
Yeah.
and like
Jonathon was there.
So just to reference some of the Jenn and John stuff, because they're still hanging out just as friends, and Jenn has said now, like in the past few days or whatever, that like her heart is not ready to be in a relationship,
Yeah.
which we all can agree, I think, on that, especially with
I
all
think
the
we can
shit
understand that.
continues to come out about Devin.
Yeah.
So like, yay,
Yeah.
she's taking care of herself. I don't know. Jonathon is like her soulmate.
Yeah,
I just don't really know how else to say it.
They're so cute together. Him being there was just so nice. And like someone caught a clip on TikTok of like her like running over to him, and while she's talking to the table, they're like holding hands and like I think they're both just good for each other right now. Like, it'll be whatever will be. But I think as time goes on and the more time she takes to heal, the more likely it is that she steps onto that beach and declares her love for her best friend, and we get what we all want.
Wouldn't that just be like a real life rom-com?
And paradise after that. You can't get better than that.
I mean, if those two aren't on the beach together next summer, I will be beside myself.
Yeah, even more than we already are.
Yeah. Like, if they can make this happen for us, like, I can maybe get past a little bit of this Devin stuff, but
yeah,
also not. I mean, it's
also maybe
not.
Big maybe. Big maybe.
Okay, well, it's an exciting week. I mean, I still have one more episode of The Secret Wives of Mormon Wives.
Oh my God.
So maybe we chat about that a little bit next time.
Yeah.
I think there's still stuff to see, but I'm just like shocked and disgusted and so entertained.
It's everything. It's everything that you could do, that you could feel. It's everything.
It's everything, all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's our new schedule. So we are now releasing on Mondays through Joan's season, basically. When Love is Blind DC starts and Love Island Australia, like we'll see if we have time for extra episodes, because it's just going to be a lot to talk about in one episode, but we'll do what we can. My TV schedule is just so packed right now. It's too much.
It's fall TV is heavy.
It's really heavy. I'm so excited about it, but
I'm very excited. It's all good things, but it is a lot.
I'm so excited because British Bake Off is starting.
I know.
In a week, and I fucking love that show.
That show could not be coming at a better time. It's just happiness.
You need it, Mary.
I need it. Like it is. In a couple weeks, I'll be able to talk about a little bit what's going on, but it is much needed TV show.
Yes. In the meantime, send Mary all the positive vibes.
No one's dying. Work sucks. But I will take them, all of them.
Well, hopefully this hour plus has put you in a better mood.
It really has.
And we love all of you for listening. Thank you so much. Follow us on social media. Tell a friend about the podcast.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll catch up with you next week.
We'll see you guys soon.
Cheers, lovebirds.
Cheers, lovebirds.
Thanks for listening to Can I Steal You for a Minute? Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you like the show, please leave a rating and review. Follow us on social media at Can I Steal You for a Minute Pod, and support the show through Patreon at patreon.com/Can I Steal You for a Minute.